So Newark was in the contention originally, and I saw yesterday when this news broke, it wasn't too long before you were out saying, you know, Newark's still open for business. At the same time, Amazon said they're not interested in a second choice. Is there any hope there that they could reconsider that?
I think it's too early to tell, David, but Newark was a very serious contender. It was in the last 20, and many would say it was on an even shorter list the first time through. It's a very compelling story that's only gotten more so. Newark is, in particular, it's a city that's got the bones. It once had 500,000 residents. It now has something under 300,000. So we don't have any of those land use issues that I think they'd had to deal with in Long Island City. And more importantly, it's got a great location, enormous talent pool. We are a state of innovation just in terms of our own economic DNA. So there's lots of compelling reasons. Newark's led by a great mayor, Ras Baraka. So we think we've got a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. We'll see. I think it's too early to tell. I can't speak for Amazon, certainly, but we think Newark is a very compelling spot for them or for others thinking about a similar decision.
So Governor, I quoted a bit from the governor of New York, Mr. Cuomo, and I also quoted from Mr. de Blasio, the mayor of New York City, with very different interpretations. One saying it's the state legislature's fault, it's particularly the state Senate, and the other saying it's really Amazon's fault. As you look at this, have we gone too far? Have we seen the high water mark for states and cities making concessions to corporations, wealthy corporations, which was emphasized by the people who were resisting this? Have we seen the high water mark in making those concessions? Did they go too far?
I can't say with any certainty on New York, but I will say this on New Jersey. You know, we always want to make sure whatever deal we strike works not just for the company, but it works for us. It works for our residents. It works for our kids. And Amazon has presented itself over the past couple of years as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with this HQ2 notion. So we felt we put a package together both at the state level and at the Newark city level that worked, not just for them, but for us, most importantly. We still have that welcome mat out. You know, Newark's story has gotten, if anything, more compelling and not less. Again, I think it's got to work for both sides, and I think that we had an arrangement with Amazon, a proposal with them that would do that. And I think in many respects we're a logical spot for them. Big, deep talent pool. I think we've got the highest concentration of scientists and engineers in the world. I mentioned Newark's story as a compelling one. So I think there's a lot of data points that suggest that we're in a good balance in terms of how an arrangement could work.
Well, Governor, what's interesting is that it's hard to look at, though, what happened in New York and Amazon as an isolated event, meaning that there's going to be pushback from wealthy companies coming in and getting breaks that are going to hurt taxpayers. How do you then deal with that? I mean, how do you deal with that going forward? What kind of concessions do you need to make to your actual taxpayers?
So I think, Alex, if the arrangement only benefits the company and it's clearly one-sided, you'll logically get pushback, and rightfully so. So not just in the incentives, but land use, which isn't as glamorous as incentives, but by our telling was a big piece of the breakdown in New York. We have none of that in Newark. So we've got the bones for an ability for a company to come in to employ folks where they can live there and not have to force people to the margins, which we will not ever do. So I think it's got to be balanced, and I think Newark and New Jersey has put forward to Amazon something that was in balance. That's why the local leadership and the state leadership were both supportive of it. We didn't have those fractures because it was a fair deal, not just for them, but importantly for us and for Newark.
Well, let me ask about those fractures, because we've already heard, as I say, from Governor Cuomo about the difficulties he's had with his state Senate. Where did they go wrong? Was it, in fact, in not having sufficient support? We have Bill Rudin, the developer, on earlier in our program, who said the real problem was that Governor Cuomo didn't have the support from the local politicians. Would you have that support in Newark?
Yeah, I can't speak to Long Island City. I was with Bill a couple of days ago talking about this very topic. We do not have that issue in Newark. Let me just say that emphatically. Mayor Ras Baraka has been extraordinarily supportive. His city council, the local interests in Newark have been very supportive of an arrangement with Amazon as long as it was fair. And I think we have long ago presented something that is fair. And I would say the same thing at the state level. So again, I'm not an expert on what happened in Long Island City, but I know the level of support in Newark and in New Jersey, and it's high.
So, Governor, as I said in their press statement, Amazon said yesterday that they are not interested in a second alternative. You said you think that might still be open. Are they returning your phone calls?
Oh yeah, we've got a good relationship with them. I don't want to speak for them, so I want to make sure that I'm not getting out ahead of myself. But we've got a very good relationship with Amazon. They already employ double-digit thousands of folks in New Jersey, so they're already a major corporate citizen in our state. And yes, we have a very good relationship, and we've had good exchanges throughout this process. Even respecting their decisions to go to Virginia and New York, we never stopped speaking, and that'll continue to be the case. So while it's too early to tell, I just want to make sure the world knows, that they know, that everyone knows, that the Newark story remains extremely compelling for the likes of Amazon.
Is there a plan B for Newark?
Oh, listen, Newark's got a lot of buzz around it. You know, even when we didn't win in the first round of the Amazon hunt, it was quite clearly an extraordinarily positive experience. It sharpened the story. The investment is high. The location is extraordinary. The talent pool, the infrastructure in terms of transportation, it's got a lot going for it. The momentum is high. There's interest in Newark being expressed morning, noon, and night. So that's all a good thing.